Hello YouTube, Chance Pellin here. Doing a second video of Resident Evil Biohazard 7, whatever. I want to give a quick shout out before I start to Apiritas. I think I said your name right. Thanks for chatting with me about this, getting me to do a second video. Um, so, my people keep saying, like, oh, these trailers, these demos, these have nothing to do with the game, blah blah blah. And then you read the directors and the producers' commentary or in their interviews, and these absolutely are the game. These places are in the game. Maybe these characters are, maybe these characters aren't, but these places are definitely in the game. So, if you thought the first place wasn't in the game, or if you think this place is or isn't in the game, this is another found footage thing. So how is this shit gonna not be in the game? Or why would they not make found why would they make all this found footage shit and not put it in the game? So that's for all of you that keep saying this stuff's not gonna be in the game. I think it's absolutely gonna be in the game, which is why the director and producer keep saying it's gonna be in the game, and that this is part of the game, and that these areas are in the game, and you can go look them up. They've said it in nearly every single one of them. So these buildings and everything. This is the game. So with that out of the way, I was hoping, and a lot of people were hoping for something different out of this second trailer. And this trailer is very strikingly more of the same, which means they have not learned their lesson at all. And you keep in mind, like, Umbrella Corps thumbs up versus thumbs down ratio was like 40-60 or something like that. This one's maybe floating at like 70-30 right now, which means like 70% thumbs up, 30% thumbs down, or something like that, which is still ugly. And so people are dogging on Umbrella Corps. How is this shit not ghosts, by the way? People keep saying, like, there's definitely ghost shit. Like, so apparently that gal can turn her lantern on and off in the dark magically, and knows where the girl is but doesn't know where the girl is, and has fucking ESP, and what is she, like, psychically moving boxes around and can fucking ridiculous. Anyway, so the main point I want to get to, now that I've gotten all that out of the way, the fact that this actually is part of the game, this found footage bullshit, and the setting, and these buildings, and these characters, this is all part of the game. These and the ghosts, obviously, ghosts or psychic powers or something. I want to get to the nitty gritty nuts and bolts of this. This is such anti-gun, anti-protecting yourself bullshit. If this girl had a pistol and feared for her life, she just put a couple rounds in that gal, and that's it. Or just see, that fucking door just shut itself. So don't tell me there's, like, not ghosts in this game and things. Or couldn't she have just opened that door? Or did she close that door herself? And since this is VR, you just can't see. What the fuck? Oh, fucking stupid. Oh my gosh. Anyway, it's fucking stupid game. I try not to get distracted by this stuff, but it's like, give me a fucking break. Um, you, does she even have anything to fear from this lady? I mean, I guess she's in somebody else's house, and so I don't even know if it would be like a justified shooting. And I mean, the cops would say she had like a lantern. Why did you shoot her? I guess. Could you just ask the lady to leave, or whatever? I don't know. It doesn't even explain why the lady is a threat to begin with. Why she couldn't just push the lady away, or just grab one of those boards with a nail on it and just fucking bury the thing in her head. It are I just want to know, like, why can't you defend yourself? And don't tell me it's because it's scary. Because it's not scary. Stealth games aren't scary unless you are so fucking sheltered that you actually believe this shit is somehow plausible. It's not. I mean, I guess if you get like, they try to do that shit in Saw where it's like, oh, you can get chloroformed. I'm sorry, but that's not scary. Um, it's funny, everyone else said the same thing too. They're like, that was the most stupidest, obvious, not jump scare in the world. I kept thinking the guy was gonna hop out and say, "Welcome to the family," and punch you in the face, and then I would have thought that was more interesting. But why why do they insist on this, like, whole either, like, they don't even try to like chloroform you and stick you into a place with nothing. They try to just make people believe that you just walk around and go into other people's houses with absolutely nothing. Not a fucking pocket knife or a flashlight or anything. And this is like post Resident Evil 6, post both Revelations. They've got like great flashlights and stuff, like aircraft aluminum and LEDs. And I mean, even if she had just a little flashlight, she could, with just little, like the little aggressive knobbies on the front, she could just stab that lady to death and at least defend herself. Oh, that's so stupid. But I assume she's supposed to be closing that door back there. You just don't. Oh, but you see her hand opening that door, but you don't see her hand closing the other door. So I assume it's a ghost that closes the other door. And how does that lady not see her? Anyway, so getting to my kind of end of all this, I'm starting to think more that this game is bought and paid for by some organization. And that may seem like wiggity whack out of bounds, but you look at how the pistol on the Apple iPhone was changed to a squirt bottle, and it turns out that was like the New York group against guns or something like that, the NY blah 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 acronym. And I know obviously it's a Japanese company that makes this game, and it could excuse me, sorry. It could very well be that they're just either anti-gun or tired of seeing guns, which is weird because they made Umbrella Corps. or they at least greenlit Umbrella Corps, and in all their interviews, they seemed extremely, or the producer, I believe it was the producer, seemed very. Where do you think you're going? Seemed very, very condescending towards Umbrella Corps because of the guns. But I just feel like this is a very suspicious time for this game to be coming out. It's going to be releasing. Oh man, excuse me. Crap. No, excuse me. This game's going to be coming out right after what I can only assume is going to be Hillary taking office. And it's going to be one of the top franchises ever. And it's going to be an anti-gun game. And it's going to be right when Hillary's taking office. And you can't tell me that that's not like social engineering. Like that a company or a group didn't just buy a company and say, take all of the guns out of your game. And in the interviews, they did say there were supposed to be like guns, or some way of defending yourself or something. So I assume it's going to be, maybe you get a screwdriver, but you can only wound them. I have no idea. Sort of like people are bringing up like Slender Man and PT and some of the other ones, but it kind of reminds me of those Alien Isolation, where you can kind of harm it, but you can never really kill it. If this game is just like one giant long string of stealth missions or something. But I'm wondering if that's only the found footage parts that are only the found footage parts that are stealth missions, which is maybe that's why they're saying they're not part of the game. It's a play on words, or it's a mistranslation or something, where it's like, but I 100% believe these are part of the game based on their interviews and stuff. So maybe there's no guns in the found footage parts, but I felt like the first one was like right on the heels of the Pulse nightclub shooting, and then they were already just like the looks on their faces when they brought up Umbrella Corps and the way they talked about it. Where do you think you're going? Where do you think you're going? Like guns just made them sick. The producer, I believe, I'm forgetting. One of them, I'm fucking them up now. One of them made it's in my past video. I cover this. The last video I made of this one of them made perfect, logical, very amicable sense. Then the other one just seemed like just sick about guns. Like he had a problem with guns, and I just wouldn't be the least bit surprised. Although I doubt we'd ever find this out if this game wasn't bought and paid for by some anti-gun organization. And I'm not going to say some government and be all loony-toony about that, but I mean, there's no way that we would ever know. It's not like they have to give up who is helping finance these games. I guess maybe in the credits or something. But I mean, what if in the credits of this game it's like Moms Against Gun Violence or something, or I don't know, some stupid shit like. I don't know why I thought of that one. I'm just trying to think of anti-gunner organizations. There's so many. Or like, what happens if they start supporting video games and stuff? It's just so suspicious. The two trailers in a row, not scary at all. In a house, I guess that's the only thing that's sort of common. Besides it being in a house, nothing in common with any of the prior games, and so I don't know. I don't know who. I don't know. I think it's a way too weirdly suspicious of a time, and I think there is a lot of anti-gun organizations out there that would love to take the guns out of video games, despite all the other violence that's in them. Although, here's the thing, I can't really say that I've seen any violence in this. And it talks about all the violence and all the gore and this and that, and there isn't any violence in it. And the more you watch it, you're like, what's going on? The first trailer, whatever they called it, I forgot even what they called it. People are so fucking stupid. They're calling it the first 20 minutes of gameplay and this and that. Like, no. Stop it. Man, it was boring. There was some gore though. Where do you think you're going? Why does her face look like it's made of mud? I guess because the light's supposed to be washed out. There's just so many things wrong with this. It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe that they've spent any real amount of money on this. Intense violence. Intense violence. I'm going to have a hard time believing if there's actually any intense violence at all, other than quick, like, cutaway jump scare stuff.
I don't know what happened. There's so much that you need to know.
I'm going to go in the torture dungeon, because that's a great idea. Anyway, so that's kind of my... it's kind of my 2 cents. I want to thank everyone again for watching my Resident Evil Umbrella Corps videos, and I'd like to thank the comments that I got on my last Resident Evil 7 video that I made. This is what I think about it. I think it's a giant anti-gun, super convenient social engineering thing that's trying to get more people away from guns and trying to get people to stop thinking about guns. Whereas all I can think of is if I was in this situation, I'd be putting rounds in her so fast that it wouldn't even be funny. Or, and that's if talking to her didn't work. I noticed this gal's not trying to talk to her at all. So I assume there's some other reason for that. But it's just... she has a damn lantern. A magical lantern, I might add. That can turn itself on and off. So, I don't know. That's what I think. I don't think it's scary at all. I think the only people this scares is people that are so incredibly sheltered that they think this is actually plausible, and people that are actually conditioned to not fight. You like rip a board out of that wall, even if you're not very strong. kick a board out, pull a board out, grab something, anything to fight with. You can pick up that friggin' cinder block right there. It's just, maybe there's something in that toolbox that's right there. This is like so. It's just conditioning people to not fight. Unless, and I could be totally wrong. Maybe. Where do you think you're going?
Where do you think you're going?
Maybe the real, or maybe outside of the found footage is going to be completely different. However, we've seen outside the found footage isn't anything from the first set of gameplay. So I don't know. Let me know what you think, and thank you again, Eperitos. I hope I'm saying your name right, for talking to me about this. It's nice to have someone to talk to. It helps to have someone to talk to about this. Otherwise, it makes it hard to make the videos. So, like, subscribe, and tell your friends, and agree or disagree, but put in a good reason why. And, or maybe let me know what you would do in this situation instead of running away. How can she not see her? And why is she not walking faster? Unless she's leading her into a house of fun. There's ghosts in this house. Let's just be honest. The friggin' house is haunted. Because doors don't just shut themselves. There's ghosts. Okay? Alright. This is not Resident Evil. So, or Silent Hill, or whatever the hell, Slender Man, whatever the hell it is. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. It's Chance Paladin, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.